It's like any other addiction. You think you can handle it, you can quit at any time, but social media is something that we all struggle with. We love it, we hate it, and it sometimes takes intervention from family members or possibly someone even higher than that to even help us, like girlfriends, boyfriends, partners, that kind of thing, just to get away from Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And I'm joined by Chloe Morrison from Nougat.com and Meghan O'Dea from the Lamppost Group. You're here with us tonight to talk about the addictions that we all do have to Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, that kind of thing. How bad can it really get, Chloe?
Well, the addiction thing is something that I struggle with because I'm like, I'm not addicted. It's just social media. It's part of my job, that kind of thing. But the truth is, if it were any other substance or activity that we were doing so frequently and felt so anxious about, if we were disconnected from, it would be a serious problem. So it's part of my job and it's part of my daily life, but I am aware that it can be a little obsessive.
And for you, Meghan, is it something that you think that people need to tackle, or is it something that it's 2014, is this the way we should accept that things are?
Well, I would like to take a cue from the French, who just passed a law that says you can't check your smartphone or emails from work after 6 p.m., which I think is incredibly progressive because honestly, like, I can recognize to what degree I'm addicted to social media personally, but it's also really hard to do anything about that because for me it's professional. I do this for a living. So way to go for the French for addressing this legislatively and acknowledging that work is a huge reason we're increasingly connected to our online lives.
Do you think that sometimes people live more of a life or project a life online than they're actually living in reality?
Yeah, I've been there and done that, and I've seen a lot of friends too, actually admit online, you know what, this is becoming unhealthy for me, and I've been dishonest about my life, and I've been dishonest about how I portray myself, and for that reason I'm stepping back. And I really applaud that honesty. Like, for a generation and a culture that promotes oversharing, that's one time that it's great to be honest and say, you know, this is getting to be too much, and I need to do things differently and go take a walk in the park.
And I think in some situations, it can actually like lead to depression. You know, I think the way people portray themselves on social media is probably different than how their lives actually are. So you're constantly bombarded with these, you know, over-the-top happy experiences, and then you think, well, I'm not having that experience. I either have to pretend I am or...
It's so easy to compare. Like,
yeah.
I can look at your Instagram and be like, oh my God, Chloe's out having fun with all these super cool people, and she's like talking about all this awesome stuff she's doing. And what I'm not thinking about is the fact that maybe like while I'm posting that kind of thing, that's when I'm like sitting alone in my room being like, I wish I were out for a beer right now. Quick, what do I have on my Instagram that looks super awesome?
What advice would you have before we come to the end here, Chloe and Meghan, for those who are struggling to get away from doing this and to get back into the real world?
I have advice that I don't know that I can take, but I think that everybody should, and I'm going to try to do this, cut off from social media 30 minutes or an hour before bedtime. I think that's a good start.
That's a rule Ariana Huffington has for herself, where there's no electronics in the bedroom. None at all. I think that would be a great example to follow, if you can.
Perfect. Meghan O'Dea, Chloe Morrison, thank you very much for your time. So folks, if you are heading to bed tonight, do take extra care, turn the phones off, put them on silent, and get that extra few hours of sleep that you mightn't get if you're thinking about posting or sharing. Thank you very much once again. We'll be back shortly.